keeping with the Indian Prime Minister Modi has made history yet again by becoming India's second longest serving Prime Minister, the context being successive terms, surpassing the record of former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. PM Modi is now only behind Jawaharlal Nehru, who had a much longer term than his. But more importantly, remember the 74-year-old Narendra Modi took oath on the 26th of May 2014. He served a total of 11 years and 60 days as Prime Minister, like I said, only behind Prime Minister Nehru, who served in office for close to 16 years and 286 days successively. Notably, Prime Minister Modi is also the first and only non-Congress leader to have completed 2 full terms as Prime Minister and also be re-elected with a majority on his own for 2 terms, making him the only non-Congress Prime Minister to do that in terms of securing a majority in the Lok Sabha. Additionally, he's also the first sitting Prime Minister since Indira Gandhi in 1971 to return to power with a full majority. Now, with the India-UK FTA getting inked yesterday, one wonders what will be the priority for Prime Minister Narendra Modi next, and what will such developments have in terms of the impact of brand Modi. So we discuss, how is Modi different from all other Prime Ministers, and can he actually go on to become India's longest serving Prime Minister? Joining us now is our guest Sanjeev Srivastava, political commentator. Sanjeev, great to have you with us. Truly, this is no doubt, first of all, a historic moment for Prime Minister Modi. But more significantly, Sanjeev, I wonder, do you think the Prime Minister has what it takes to go on to become probably India's longest serving Prime Minister, given the fanfare and the general momentum that he's had, especially in the recent past?
So to become the longest serving Prime Minister, he should be Prime Minister for more than 5 years. So he has to win the 2029 election and come back and occupy the post of Prime Minister. So that is, well, I won't say that is improbable at all. It's quite likely if he continues to remain as fit and healthy as he is, and if there are no other setbacks to him, politically to him or to the BJP, because it's very difficult to look so much into the horizon and future, because it's there is a general election between and more, because the next general election would be in about 4 years' time, less than 4 years' time, and he has to win it and still continue 2 years plus after that. So it's anybody's guess, but going by the way things are going right now, I don't see much of a challenge to Mr. Modi unless he himself so decides for whatever reasons. Because there is this whole talk about 75 years, and I don't think he's at all going to hang his boots at 75. So there he is likely to continue. But would he like to continue beyond 80? How can I know, or anybody know for that matter?
No, nobody knows, Sanjeev, and I wouldn't ask you to hazard a guess looking at your crystal ball in terms of what the future holds. But I think the more stunning stat that we are faced with right now is, if you take a look at Prime Minister Modi's term as Gujarat Chief Minister since 2001, that makes it a total of 24 years that he served as an elected head of government, first state and now, of course, the country. That is truly stunning if you look at it with the broader picture.
Oh, no doubt.
What do you think is fueling this mass status of the Prime Minister as, almost a cult-like leader in these times that we live in?
See, I remember his public meeting in Baroda soon after winning the 2014 elections from Varanasi. He had actually gone to Baroda and addressed a public meeting there. And there he had very clearly said that I am not the kind of leader who will be happy with one term or whom the opposition can wish away after one term. When I come somewhere, means when I occupy some post, then I'm there for a long time and I'm there to stay. So he made his intent clear then only, and it is neither you or me or anybody else can deny the fact that he has won now 2014, 2019 and maybe not with an absolute majority for the BJP in 2024, but he has back as the chief minister. So and he's, like you say, an uninterrupted run at being in office since 2001 when he became the Gujarat chief minister. So 13, 14 years there. He won 2002 election, 2007 election, 2012 election in Gujarat, then 2014, 19, and 24 on the central level. So he has had an amazing dream run, and so that speaks volumes about his capability as a political leader, as a man who is popular with the masses, and the way the Indian political scenario is shaped up in this decade, the way the opposition has been, there has been a problem with the opposition, the kind of politics which has come into play, the policies, the main issues on which have been on the table since these last 10 years. So everything in Indian politics has undergone quite a dramatic shift, actually.
Right. But even as we talk about the Prime Minister and the qualities that have made him such a popular figure among the masses, do you perhaps see, Sanjeev, some similarities with Prime Minister Indira Gandhi insofar as his strongman image is concerned? Surely many political pundits in the past have drawn similarities. Would you concur?
It's very difficult to draw comparisons, but definitely Mrs. Gandhi was, like they said then when Mrs. Gandhi was the Prime Minister, especially from 71 to her 77 phase, that she was the only one who wore pants in her cabinet. Like she was the only man. And I'm not trying to be sexist, but the only one who mattered and the only one who was all powerful, and everything revolved around her during those years. So similarly, you can say that the Indian polity has revolved around Mr. Narendra Modi for the last more than a decade now. So there is a similarity. Once Mrs. Gandhi took a decision, she went with it, come hell or high water. And somewhere Mr. Modi also takes his own time in taking a decision, but once he takes a decision, he sticks with it. And he is not afraid of taking what are seen as not very popular decisions also at times. At the same time, unlike Mrs. Gandhi, when Mr.
Right.
Modi realizes that maybe there is a mistake, he's very good at course correction also. So, like whether there was the farm laws instance, like
Absolutely.
somebody who has his fingers on the popular pulse. So he doesn't make it an ego issue or a prestige issue. If sometimes he thinks that a decision has not gone down well for whatever reasons, then he just steps back, which is perfectly fine in democracy, and one should do that. Respect popular sentiment and public sentiment
No
at
doubt.
times. At the same
Absolutely.
time, he's very focused, just like Mrs.
Rightly
Gandhi, and
said.
just like Mrs. Gandhi, who used to use all the levers of power, Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed, as they say, everything, good, bad, ugly, what have you. So, similarly, Mr. Modi, to meet his ends, to achieve what he wants to achieve, he will not really bother too much about niceties and finesse and things like that. He can ride roughshod when it requires, when he's convinced that that's the need of the art. So there are similarities, and
Right.
of course there are differences also.
Absolutely. That's a nice, nifty analysis there between both these leaders who, right now, pretty much neck and neck with Prime Minister Modi, of course, just about breaking Indira Gandhi's record there. But I
But that
sometimes
is,
wonder, Sanjeev,
I'm
what do you
sorry,
think will be Prime Minister's
but the
big
fact of the matter
leg?
is that that record is only in terms of in succession, in continuity. Otherwise, Indira Gandhi has had a longer stint as prime minister. So we should also not
As
forget
Prime
it.
Minister, absolutely. We mentioned that at the very start. Absolutely. No, for sure. The most successive days as Prime Minister, we were very clear about that when we began. But I sometimes wonder, going back to our discussion, what do you think will be Prime Minister Modi's lasting legacy in his total tenure as Prime Minister, whenever that ends, be it another term or be it the one we're in right now? Is that legacy yet to come? Do you think it's probably already here? What do you think will be the defining legacy of Prime Minister Modi's prime ministership?
Well, the one defining legacy will be how powerful the Prime Minister's office has become. You know, it is whether we like it or, and I'm not saying it as a, not in a not complimentary manner, but the centralization of power will be one big legacy like Mrs. Gandhi's. The other big legacy will be how he has managed to catapult BJP into the pole position of Indian politics. So Mr. Vajpayee was the prime minister earlier. He became prime minister thrice, two times for a very brief duration, and then completed his term from 99 to 2004. But it was in a minority. Here in 2014, he got BJP a clear majority. 2019, he got a clear majority. And even into 2024, he has got more seats for the BJP than Mr. Vajpayee had ever got, or any other BJP leader has got. So getting BJP into that pole position in Indian politics, the pole position which the Congress party enjoyed once, will be one lasting legacy clearly of Mr. Modi. That whether it's the politics of Hindutva or whether it's the politics of whatever, all the things that BJP stands for, the abrogation of Article 370 would be, I think, one of his most lasting imprints on Indian political landscape, a very big decision. Then the large-scale Labhartis, which he has introduced, this social welfare measures, which have been unleashed by the Modi government. This sheer scale of it would be another big legacy, which no following government can afford to overlook or takes any other path. That the sheer number of people who are benefiting direct from government schemes, direct transfers, rations, that's another big legacy. And one of the things which, of course, the BJP would like to comment much more on and would like to really take credit on is there, if you may, a more aggressive stance on terror and more proactive stance on terror, that terror attacks will not be tolerated and India will reciprocate and retaliate and try and take the battle to the enemy camp. So those are the things largely, I think, which will be, for which Mr. Modi will be remembered.
Right. Even as we discuss Prime Minister Modi's appeal as a mass leader, I can't quite help but draw you back to what Nishikant Dubey said in terms of the BJP being at roughly around 150 seats in the Lok Sabha, were it not for the Prime Minister, as the leader of the party, and this Prime Minister, particularly Modi. So I sometimes wonder, will the party be left with no other option but Prime Minister Modi come 2029?
I would leave that decision to the party and to the RSS. But one thing where I will agree is this assessment that even when BJP has not got or not crossed the majority marks on its own, not crossed the 272 in 2024, still, I think 80% at least of the 240 MPs, or you really can't put a number, but a majority of those MPs came or were elected because the people of India in those areas were largely voting for Mr. Modi as Prime Minister. So he's definitely a very big factor. At the same time, it's very difficult to really look into future, how politics plays, how other things pan out, what kind of situation we be going forward. But it's very difficult in the immediate future to imagine India without Mr. Modi being at the helm of affairs.
Well, like you rightly said, Sanjeev, even as we struggle to think of, a future for both India and the BJP, which does not have Prime Minister Modi in it, perhaps his one big legacy will be the revamp to the office of the Prime Minister itself, insofar as the kind of power that it wields today. Sanjeev, great speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining us on that very insightful discussion. Moving on.